Hey everybody, welcome back. If you're like me and you love those beautiful boxwood wreaths from the fancy high-end catalogs that sell for a high-end price, then you are really going to enjoy this boxwood wreath DIY. Please join me to make this fresh boxwood wreath. Okay, so what we're going to need to make our fresh boxwood wreath today is a wreath form. This is a 14-inch wreath form. This came from the Dollar Tree, and you could use any size that you'd like. You need some wire. I'm using 26 gauge wire because it's not too heavy and it's not too thin. You need a good pair of comfortable wire clippers and, stem trimmers for yourself. And then we have a little bag for trash. I use a little paper bag, a little lunch bag or whatever, because it stands up and it's my little trash buddy there. And then we're gonna make some little bundles of boxwood. Okay, so I started with this basket about 3/4 of the way full. They're still a little wet. We had a rainy day today, so I got out there and I started cutting. There will be more, but you're going to need more than this for a wreath, but I'm just getting started here. And like I said, I had to kind of just wrap these in a towel and wipe them a little, but no big deal. Alrighty, so get comfortable, get your clippings, your wire, and we're going to start making some bundles. So I've got some of my boxwood out. I've already started on some little bundles, and I'm going to show you how I did this. Okay, so we've got some very long pieces, which this is great. We have a little boxwood nursery in the back, and with new boxwoods that are thriving and have not been clipped. So what I'm going to do is make a little bundle here out of this. Maybe 5, 6, 7 little pieces. Okay, like that. A little bunch that feels good. And you're going to hold your bundle with one hand and hold on to your wire paddle. Okay, you need to get comfortable with this wire paddle and really pull on that tight. Okay, and I'm going to give this a little snip because these are very long. And we're going to make another one. We can reuse these, okay? They're all a nice size. And you want your little bundles, another one here, about 6, 7 little pieces till it feels good in your hand, and you want to kind of, pay attention to making some of these a little staggered in how they go together. And this looks a little full. And then you're going to hold on to your bundle and grab this wire and really pull, okay, 3 or 4 times. Give this a little snip. You want to keep some of the length on there, but I'm trimming these. They're all about, give or take 6 inches for this particular wreath. That's the size I'm doing. You can make these bundles as big as you like, and what fits in your hand and is comfortable for you. So got another bundle, and then just wiring these together. I want to pull these tight. They are fresh. They will dry, and of course they're going to shrink a little bit as they dry out. Okay, so we've got our wreath form here. We're going to attach our wire. We've got a tail. We're going to hold on to that tail, and we're going to take our wire paddle, and we are going to wrap this maybe 3 times, and then you're going to take your wire and go through here. Pull that, and then go down and up. You just kind of want to take the wire back on itself instead of just going around and around, because it's not going to attach. You take it around and weave it back and forth a couple times. That wire's not going anywhere. And what you want is for this wire to stay attached. You will not be cutting this wire while you make your wreath. You're going to keep that just like that, okay? This is attached to the wreath form the whole time. So now I'm just going to twist this up a little bit. And just kind of tuck that out of your way, okay? So that's what we got. Okay, so we're going to start cutting our little bundles apart. And again, I did that, just got them all attached for the reason that I didn't want to take the time to cut them as I went. I thought it would be easier to just cut them all at the end. But, you know, whatever works for you. So make sure you pick up those little wires and throw those away when you're done. Okay. Okay, so here's our wreath form again. We're attached. We're going to just take a couple of these bundles and we're going to start making a wreath. Okay, so I'm going to put starting with the wire on the outside. Okay. And you're going to go over and pull that tight. And then we're going to put maybe two bunches, and go over and under and pull that tight. And just, you know, I like to go under 2 or 3 times. Depends, you know, you want to make sure you get it in there tight. Okay, so we kind of have a little bit of a starting here. And being mindful, I kind of had a back to my bunches and a front. And I kind of, when I arranged these, I kind of had them all facing kind of to the front. If you can, you know, just kind of keep uniform whatever you do. And it doesn't matter if they're not facing the same way. I just kind of found that I started arranging them that way and I didn't even realize I was doing it. So, you know, you want the best side facing. And just kind of filling in, as you see, there's the back side, there's a stem. And just kind of, you know, again, over, pull, over, and then pull. And we're kind of developing a bit of a uniform pattern. And this is why it's nice if your bundles are kind of the same size, and you want to kind of keep an eye on that as you go, so that, you know, your wreath looks pretty and all that. And if there's any gaps or anything, we can always fill with a bow. You can stick a couple bundles, you know, just kind of squish them in there however you need to. And really, what we're going to have here, these wreaths cost, you guys Google these or search for these and take a look for yourself. I saw some for $88 and it just had a simple velvet bow, just tied, or velvet ribbon, not even tied in a bow. It was just kind of a loose, you know, knot. And it was $88. And it's really incredible how much they charge for these. And if you can take this out of your own yard and cut it and make a beautiful wreath, that's really nice. And so I'm going to continue to make some more bundles. Looks like I'm going to have to go out and get some more boxwood cut. And I'm just going to keep going, and I'll show you as I go. One thing I do want to tell you, you may want some protective gear on your hands. I've been using these little things from my hot glue gun, and they were nice pristine white. And as I was practicing in that, they just looked kind of trashed. But I found that I had gloves on, and what was happening is my gloves were I was getting my gloves tangled up. So that's why I'm not wearing any protective anything on my hands. So it's nice if you can make your bundles. If you do have to stop with your wire, and I made a bunch of bundles when I started, I made another wreath, and I just made bundles, and it took me quite a few bundles, but you know, just embrace the process. Know that this is not something that you want to rush. You want to do a nice job. You're going to enjoy this for a long time, and you know, have some good music on, and know that it's going to take you some time, but just think about the end product that you're going to have. So I will continue to make some more bundles and clip some more boxwood, and I'll be back to show you how I'm doing. So we can either put a few more bunches in. We could hang a bow here. I don't think it's going to settle into place and fill out. So we might need just a couple more bunches. And that's how full we are. Feels pretty heavy. We used a lot of greens, but that's what you got to do. And so I'm going to make a few more bunches and just finish this off, and I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, so here is our finished wreath. This has been drying for about 2 weeks, and you can kind of hear it's got a little bit of a dried kind of sound to it. I did get 2 wreaths this size out of all the boxwood clippings. These were all clipped. I have to tell you, these were clipped by hand. They were not clipped with the electric trimmers. This is the back. The form here, this is a 12-inch wreath form. Give or take, it was 12 inches. You saw me really pulling on it in the previous footage there. And this is a form from the Dollar Tree, and these can be there's a little bit of give, and I really pulled tight. So anyways, started with a 12-inch form, and I did use, you want to use green wire on your green things. 1 bolt of wire got me 2 of these wreaths, dried them flat on a cooling rack from my kitchen so that there would be airflow underneath your wreath and everything dried really nice. They do kind of, the leaves and the little branches tend to shrink. There's a little bit of shrinkage there as they dry, which is just the nature of what is going to happen with anything that you're going to dry from nature most of the time. I got 2 this size. It was, like I said, a 12-inch wreath form, and I ended up with about a 16-inch, give or take, wreath. 2 of these. So that is our wreath. You're going to lose a few little leaves. That's okay. I also have this really cute little one that is you know, something you could put anywhere. You could hang this on a mirror. You could hang this on a cabinet door, over your range in your kitchen, if you're fortunate enough to have like a beautiful hood on your over your oven. I do not, but this is a little form. It's a 6-inch wreath form. I ended up with about about a 10-inch wreath, okay, out of that. My bundles for this size wreath, the bundles were a little longer, and on this one, you know, you just want to make your little bundles and kind of hold them up to your wreath form and how wide you want these to come out, you know, and what your shape you're going for. These are going to be a little smaller bundles. These are going to be a little larger. As I made this, I kept holding and looking from the side to keep things uniform and, you know, not have one side get real tall and the other side not. This one, you know, the one side is a little fuller than the other. And once you start making your wreath, and your size gets determined pretty quickly, and, you know, I put my greens pretty dense on these forms, and you're kind of committed that way. That kind of is going to follow around with your wreath. I could have gone thinner on these, but I chose to make them kind of a little bit thicker, and I still have a lot of greens left. These were all hand cut. So if you were to cut these with your trimmers outside, you would have a lot of cut off leaves. Because we really procrastinated with these bushes because life just happened this summer in many ways, and the heat kicked in really quick. Usually the boxwoods gets trimmed maybe, you know, June, mid-June for the season before it gets too hot. They do get stressed, and this was a tough year. I'm also celebrating the boxwood big time this year because, you know, there was this boxwood blight that was going around. We're not able to find boxwood in the greenhouses to purchase this year. So really, this is appreciating what you have, because just like anything else in life, you guys, you know, some things are there one day and then they're not. And so this would have ended up in a lawn bag or in the composter or whatever. So I'm really taking advantage and appreciating my boxwood. These wreaths will fade in the sun. They will not last forever, but these will hold me through till next year for sure. I'm going to show you how to make a bow to put on this little cute one. This is a simple bow, and I think you guys will be able to do this. And if not, you can decorate these up with any type of ribbon, whatever that you like. And this is just a little bit of a different take on a bow. So I'm using well, this is my little ruler, something I do collect at estate sales when I go and just when I'm out. I love those. So anyways, I'm here in Michigan, and this is from Grand Rapids, so I really love that. Okay, we're going with a 24-inch piece of our wide ribbon. This is about a 2-inch ribbon. And then I have going to go with a 16-inch piece of same color in a narrow ribbon. Okay, this is a 1/4 of an inch or so. I believe it's 3/8 of an inch. I'm sorry, 3/8 of an inch. So we've got a 16-inch piece of that and a 24-inch piece of our 2-inch wide. Now, again, I'm making this to go on this size wreath. This is just what worked, and you want to make your bow relative to the size of your wreath. You can always buy a bow, but I just thought this would be fun to make, and you can customize to your decor. Okay, so this really couldn't be any simpler today. No glue, no wire, just ribbon. Making kind of like a necktie. I call this a necktie bow. It's a really sweet little bow. So all I did is flip my ribbon over, and you're just gonna, I'm just eyeballing this, you guys. You want all of your velvet side facing up, and going to just kind of see what the loop size looks like. Just a little bit. And this is the trickiest part, taking this narrow ribbon, putting it in the middle, and I'm just keeping everything facing, you know, the velvet facing on the front. So this is the back of our ribbon, our bow. And I'm going to start to tie that. I'm going to turn it over and just kind of start pulling a little bit. And really give that a good tug on that, really good. And kind of get a bit of a bow started here, like a shoelace bow or whatever you want to call it. Many ways you can get to this point, but I'm just kind of excited about this one today. I do have a tiny little hook that I made just out of ribbon, and I'll show you why in a minute. Okay. Just want to kind of get that ribbon, one on the top and close to it. Have these kind of going in the other direction of our loops so that we can just attach this on. Being mindful of where the top of your bow or your wreath is going to be. And mine is right about here. So I'm going to turn this over and going through twice so that it'll hold good. Okay. There's many ways to get to a bow. Like I said, you could even buy one and just wire it on. That would be great too. Okay. Again, here is our larger wreath, just so you can see the back and the front. Okay, so we gave this a tug, and we're going to tie this one more time into a bit of a square knot. And I'll just clip those off. Okay, so there's, again, the back. And so I'm going to just cut these on a little bit of a angle here today for this, keeping it on the simple side. And then we have our little lighter. Very carefully, we're going to get this up so you can see what I'm doing. Just going to very carefully, just until you see those little fibers start to kind of shrink or melt away. When you feel that edge kind of crisp, this gets kind of crisped up a bit, that's when you know it's sealed and it's not going to ravel and fray on you. Okay? Okay. And I am going to show you how I'm going to display this wreath here. I just have a little plate stand. This is just a decorative platter that I usually have on display somewhere. And I put a little command hook on here. And here's my tiny little wire hook that I made on the back so that it would just hang right here in the center. And I'm just going to start fussing with this bow. I hope you guys enjoyed this Boxwood Wreath tutorial here, and maybe you have some boxwoods that you could go out and clip. Maybe you have a family member that would let you come and clip some, and maybe you make something for them as well. Thanks so much for watching. Before you leave, make sure you subscribe, and until next time, have a great day.